Hello, everybody. It is Pine the Pear, Coach Pine Bubbling. However you know me, you know whose video you clicked on. Well, they did it again. Kansas City lost another one. This time to the Green Bay Packers. Final score was 27 Packers, 19 Chiefs. And well, we got some things we need to talk about. I'm going to start this video off with saying something that I don't think most Chiefs fans will. And if you're watching this video not a Chiefs fan, you probably want to hear me say this. The Mahomes unnecessary roughness late hit call when he was scrambling and wasn't out of bounds and got hit. It was a terrible call. I'll be the first person to say it. The call was trash. I said that during the game. I watch the Chiefs games with my family. That's the only reason I'm a Chiefs fan is because my entire family is, and I was kind of raised into a Chiefs household. I watch the games with my family. You can ask any of them. I said, and I quote, something along the lines of, man, that's a terrible call, but it's for us, so I'll take it. That's how I felt when that call happened. I said, man, that is a terrible call, but it's for the Chiefs, so we'll take it all day. And then the missed pass interference call. Marquez Valdes-Scantling deep down the field and can't connect with him. How many times have you heard me say that this season? Yeah, that was a bad call too. Arguably a worse call. I think people would argue with me on that. But you can't, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, you can't compare a 10-yard unnecessary roughness penalty to a 50-yard defensive pass interference penalty. It's like I feel in football that penalties, if they happen, offsetting penalties, they just replay the down. I feel like you should kind of split the difference because there's no reason a 50-yard pass interference and a 5-yard holding are equal. There's just simply, in my opinion, no reason for it. And a lot of people are saying that that was a makeup call for Patrick Mahomes, the late hit call. And I get where you're coming from. I do. But like I just said, there is in no universe should a 10-yard roughness penalty equal a 50-yard defensive pass interference penalty. And look, I'm going to tell you, we shouldn't have even let it come down to that. That game should not have been in the ref's hands to begin with. But at the same time, if it does come down to the refs making these calls, you got to make the right ones. The Mahomes roughing penalty shouldn't have been called. The pass interference penalty should have been called. And even if you want me to throw the Chiefs under the bus some more, Marquez Valdes-Scantling was 1,000% down in bounds with forward progress when they marked him out and the clock stopped. Where there was, I think, 19 seconds left after that play. I'll be the first person to tell you, clock should have kept running. Really, really should have. Marquez Valdes-Scantling came back to get out of bounds. That's not the rules of football. He should have been downed with forward progress in bounds. Clock should have stayed running. Like I said, shouldn't have even came down to that. Offense could not get it done in the red zone. We have been notoriously terrible in the red zone this year and in previous years. Really, if I'm remembering correctly, we haven't been good in the red zone the entire Patrick Mahomes era, which is crazy because our offense has been so good everywhere else during Mahomes' stint in Kansas City. But once we get inside that 20-yard line, we don't produce touchdowns. I mean, it's that simple. We convert even one of those field goals into a touchdown. It's a much tighter game, and we just have to go for a field goal as opposed to going for the touchdown. I mean, when you can't get the ball in the end zone, you're going to lose games. It's that simple. Defense didn't really show up. Got a few key stops. Would have liked a few more. I mean, defense overall let up too many points, but did their job when they were needed. Don't really know how I feel about that. We made Jordan Love look like prime Aaron Rodgers. It was a great game for Jordan Love. It was just a very bad game for the middle of our secondary. The whole middle of the field seemed to be wide open the entire game, missing key starters like Tranquil, Bolton, and Cook. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. Once we get those guys back, I think the middle of our field will be a lot more solidified. They were torturing us in the run game, too, for a little bit. We got better at it as the game went on. But to start the game, I thought they were going to run all over us. Thankfully, didn't end up that way. The Patrick Mahomes interception, it was halfway his fault, halfway wasn't. I'm pretty done with the whole Sky Moore thing. I think he's a good player. He has tools to be a great player, but I don't think he has the tools in the toolbox right now to be a pivotal part of this offense. I mean, if you go watch the Mahomes interception, it looked like Sky Moore was like jogging. I honestly feel that if Sky Moore gave 100% on that route and up to get the football, 100% think it would have been at least incomplete. It was, I mean, there's no excuse for not giving effort. You look at Deontay Johnson with the Steelers the other day, and he was supposed to be run blocking. He went, and then they fumbled, and he just kind of watched them take the fumble away. Like, you look at things like that, and that was all over the place for a little while there. I haven't really seen anybody talk about it too much, which is crazy to me because if, like, he's cut from the team if I'm the coach, he's not playing another down the entire year. And Deontay Johnson's a good receiver, so that's saying something. Another thing I want to bring up is Andy Reid is, I posted this on Facebook after the game. Isaiah Pacheco had 110 yards and a touchdown on 18 carries. Pacheco needs to be getting the ball like 25 times a game. Pacheco is a very, very solid running back in this league. And Andy Reid is almost allergic to consistently running the football. If our receivers aren't going to be good this season, like if that's just not going to happen, can we utilize one of the best backs and one of the best offensive lines in the league and run the damn football? I don't get why that's such a foreign concept to Andy Reid, one of the greatest offensive minds in football history, and he has almost never had a consistent running game. It needs to change. That's pretty much all I got. Like I said, there were some calls that should have went for the Chiefs, some calls that shouldn't have went for the Chiefs. It was a sloppy game. I thought the game was pretty good on the officiating side up until that last minute or so. And when you put the game in the ref's hands, you're asking to lose, let's be honest. But at the same time, if you need the refs to make those calls, they have to. There's no reason for the referees not to make the right calls. I understand, they're not watching from, the camera we're watching from at home. They're not seeing the slow motion replays. But you are a NFL official, top of the line, best referees in the nation. You got to be better. It's just plain and simple. I'm Pine the Pear, and that's my take. I'll see you in the next one.